All right, we are officially
Okay.
live.
Are you sure? Can you see it on YouTube? I hit
Well,
it.
I'm not on YouTube, but I see that it says live. This meeting is being live streamed, so it's meaning likely now. So pretty sure we're live now.
All right, Coach Cheese, we'll believe you because you have the glasses on. I can't look at you this whole time with those glasses.
Yes, we are definitely live. So I
Awesome.
I just checked on YouTube. Yes, we are good to go.
Great.
All
I
right,
think it'll be
we
a
are.
little
Go ahead.
it'll be a little bit like before. I believe that it's going to be a lag. So I'm going to mute. So I'm going to mute it so I don't hear it in my background. So yay. Okay, I'm back. All right. We even had a whole little outline. So I think we're just going to piddle a couple of minutes and give, we know some team members couldn't get here at 9, so we're just going to talk for a couple of minutes maybe and then jump into it.
Sounds good.
So,
Oh,
how was everyone's weekend? Anything fun going on?
We did the charity race this past weekend, so that's always a good time.
Charity race for what, Angie? For those people that
Go
don't
down
know,
ALS. If you haven't heard of us, you should go Google it on Facebook. Check us out. Be a ton of new postings coming up this coming week. So getting ready, already starting to plan out the next year's race. But yep, we
so
have
this one
a
was your big one for the year, right?
yes, we have one big event each year, typically in September because a couple of our board members are actually hunt actors, which is pretty cool. So we learned our lesson about scheduling in October. But yeah, we do the charity to raise money to go towards ALS patients and the caregivers and research. Um, for ALS, otherwise known as Lou Gehrig's disease, more commonly.
Awesome. And you guys have been uh, really good with asking for um, some help and a little bit of um, people that want to help and do something good and nice. And the celebrities are really cool with signing a couple of pictures for like raffles and things, which
Yes,
is super awesome.
we have been so fortunate, so blessed with the celebrities that come and we can talk to them and they sign things for our raffles. A lot of them have done little TikToks for us. They've been absolutely wonderful. Last year, I'll go ahead and do a big shout out to the cast and crew of Terrifier 2. I think our raffle items on that, it was nearly every single cast and crew of Terrifier and Terrifier 2 that had signed it was a substantial package by the time we had a poster and DVD and behind the scenes photos. We did the interactive events that we did with Terrifier. So I was able to put in a little art mask and
Nice.
vomit bags and so it was a pretty substantial package by the
Oh, I
time.
forgot about the vomit bags from that first interactive screening. Oh, so we'll touch on those two later, somewhere in this conversation, because yeah, that was kind of one of our crowning moments. Hi, Brittany. Yeah, so that's really cool. I totally forgot about the vomit bags. The vomit bags were, I don't know, George, did we get a vomit bag
we got
somewhere?
one.
We got one? Okay. I
Yeah.
couldn't remember because I know we were kind of, and I think it was by accident when we just maybe saw one laying out and we were,
Yeah, we there was two different designs. There was one that had that we had that had Art the Clown on there, and then the other one was the Pale Girl was for the
oh,
other. And I think we have the one with the Pale Girl.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't even remember seeing the one with the pale girl. I just
Maybe
know
we
that
have
they
the
were
ones with
there.
Art. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I thought that we had one with art. Not sure, but I know you confirmed that we have one, so yay.
Yeah, one of them.
We'll go on our stash of things that we have to put up, at some point one day in life. All right. Let's see. All right. I think maybe we can go ahead and start. So we are just going to do some introductions, tell you who we are and what we do, and we can maybe Brady Bunch this. Let's start with Angie, and then we'll go down and around.
Angie didn't want to start.
Well,
Um,
Angie, then if it makes you feel better, Brittany can go after you.
okay, that does make me feel better.
Does it?
So,
Okay, good.
so my name is Angie Sherrill. I am uh technically the media manager for the film festival team. However, I am now the co-media manager. So Brittany is joining us in that role as well. And we did get together and talk about some things the other day, but that's one thing we didn't talk about is how we were going to break down that title. If we just want to stick with co or get a little more creative with it.
Okay. And did you want to talk about your history kind of in
Yeah.
this field? And I'm pretty sure yours will branch off a little bit past the film fest into some of the other things that you're doing on. So can you take a few minutes to talk about your where how you got here and what else you're doing?
Well, it was a nice crisp fall day back in 1970. Now, seriously though, I've always told stories. I've always had stories to tell. Going through school, I really focused on that creative writing class. Never really occurred to me to do anything script wise until my senior year. I got more into the technical side of videography. And that kind of led to the desire of going on to film school, which got delayed for a few years. Eventually, I went and got a 2-year degree. Um, but it's just kind of progressed to the local competition filmmaking stage, to doing the screenwriting, um, just continuing to build and flesh out those stories, and eventually in that competition phase, kind of going and doing my own productions and leading my own teams. And the recently, I know that I am real close to actually being a certified screenreader. So I've been working on that for a while, and just all aspects of writing is really where a focus these days. Even though I've been behind the camera, I've hauled the lighting around. I've recently will go ahead and throw Haunted House of Pancakes out there because I've produced and assistant directed on that. And it's really kind of opened me up to other producing roles. I've got a short that I'm producing at the end of October. I've got a TV show that I am in the very, very early stages of producing. We're finishing up a pitch deck on that to actually look for financing on that. So it's very early stages, but it's very different from anything else that I've ever done. So I'm really excited about it. But I think it was probably around 2016 when I got involved on the convention side of things, and kind of progressed through there, especially getting involved with different film festivals and being on the selection committee. And then again, super excited that we're doing scripts now as well, because again, that's my jam. That's what I want to do. Um, so I think this film festival means so much to me because one of the things that I'm driven to do is, first and foremost, I want to teach and help others. And the way this festival is set up, it allows me a chance to do that. I'm also big into supporting other filmmakers, other creatives. And that is definitely where we shine, I think. That's that's been your business model from day one, which is one reason I say I don't know if I would go to another festival if you guys weren't there.
Aw,
I think
thanks.
what we want to accomplish aligns so well. And it's really allowed me and my personality and my personal goals to be able to go out. Somebody asked me the other day, because recently I went out and spent like 14 hours on set for a project that I'm not attached to in any way, shape, or form. And somebody asked me,
It happens.
why would you do that? And it's because I've gotten to know this filmmaker. I really like this filmmaker, respect them. And when they asked me to come to set, I'm like, why? I'm available. Why would I not go? Why would I not
And you
go?
learn something each time you're on a set, no matter whose set it is, you take something away.
100%. Yes. So that's a really, really mishmatched answer to how I got involved. But it's
That's
also
if it happened.
it's like I said, this festival is exactly what the goals are, exactly aligned with what my personal goals are in life. So
Some would say that we are the Sundance of horror film festivals.
there you go.
We're just gonna give ourselves that title. Fuck
That's
it.
right.
So and
We
since
didn't say that. I'm just saying that's what I've heard. Other people have been saying that. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that that's what I've heard.
so I totally skipped over this part, but you kind of brought it up with the whole Sundance thing. Is I am based out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and we are shortlisted for the location for
Oh,
Sundance.
for the location change, yeah. That would be
Yes,
kind of awesome.
that would be amazing.
Okay, Brittany. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I cut you off too quick, Angie?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
I'm watching both streams and I'm like, it looked like she stopped. So I was just like, okay, I'm watching two sides. You're muted.
Sorry, I've been commenting this whole time. This is embarrassing.
Oh,
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Brittany, and I am a filmmaker and professional weirdo. And I'm part of the media team now, so that's been really cool. I feel very lucky, very grateful to be part of this awesome team and the Sundance of horror conventions, because it's a great place to be. If you're at a convention, you'll see me taking photos, taking videos, or nerding out with other congoers. A little bit of my background is that I started as a fan. The first like Days of the Dead that I went to, I was probably like 16 years old. And I've just been going to them since, and all the conventions around town. But when I saw the chance to be a part of the volunteer team with the media team, I kind of leaped on that. I thought it would be a really great team to be a part of. I really love like what you guys are all doing, what we're doing now. It's a great outlet for networking, for showcasing your art, and just like a great place for the community to come together. And it's just been like really good to be a part of that. And go. I was just at another film festival, which was fun, but it was like weird because it wasn't home. And so that's kind of where I am and where I came from as far as the con side. And then I went to school for media, and I've done like video production stuff. I prefer to be behind the camera rather than in front of it, if you can't tell already.
you're doing great.
Thanks. But yeah, I like kind of like Angie said, I like supporting and helping people grow, and like I really enjoy like working on my own projects when I can like find the time to do that. But for me, it's always just been about the team effort and just making stuff and doing that movie magic, because like the feeling that I've gotten sitting in a room full of strangers watching stuff, you know, that I never would have seen if I flipped on the TV or went to the movie theater. And like just the community aspect of that is amazing. Just in like the year and a half or so that I've been with you guys, like I have seen regulars come and like to watch you guys interact with them, and then to like hopefully have, you know, my own interactions with people that like I've like cultivated relationships with, you know, through the cons and stuff. Like that's what I'm in it for. And like that's the most rewarding thing, because like without, you know, us on this end and like us also on the other end as like both the consumers and the creators facilitating this stuff, like this kind of art doesn't have a place and outlet to go, you know. And so to be a part of like that force that's, you know, pushing these things forward is really dope, and I'm excited to see what we do. And yeah, and and I'm in Bloomington, Indiana. And if I'm not doing stuff with Days of the Dead, I am working with other filmmakers. I'm just playing with my friends, making monsters or taking school photos. That's my other side hustle. So it's a little bit about me and what I do.
Forgot to add, on top of making movies, you're becoming quite well known for your special effects.
Yes.
Yes, she is.
I've been trying to, at least. Yeah, I want to make
Had a couple of
monsters.
nominations, you know,
Yeah,
with
yeah, that's
actually, I
true.
think it's more than a couple of nominations. I think you've had a handful of nominations for your special effects prowess, and very well deserved, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
And pictures
You're
that
very
you
welcome.
can see on social media, one of a very large peen. So that's something that's out there. Oh, I think we lost Duke.
Oh
I
no.
know, and I was just about to, you know,
Hello?
introduce him and say, "Hey, dude, your
Oh,
turn."
okay. Sorry, I thought you were talking to me still. See, that's why I'm gonna go back on mute. But no, I did see
No,
Duke
we're
for a
gonna make you
second.
keep talking until he comes back on.
Oh no. Well, the next
So
thing
I
is
will say, I
Elizabeth
am
Booster.
so I am so bummed because I wanted to be at that film fest with the Victory Film Fest in Evansville, Indiana. A lot of good films were playing, a lot of regional films, Indiana films. Um, just, you know, it seemed like such a good environment. I love the small town and how much this town comes together to put this festival on. I'm like, I wanted to go to the vendors. I wanted to walk around. I wanted to go to the German restaurant we talked about. I was just, I know, and I was just like, you can do it. Oh gosh, no, you can't. I felt I was just in so it was just such a bad weekend physically for me. And I was just like, I cannot do 6 hours in a car at all. So I look forward to going there next year, especially after meeting the directors at the IFN meetup. And I was just like, oh man, this sounds great. And it's been a long time since I'd been in Evansville. So Stephen Morris is actually on my chat on the chat, and he said Brittany is the best. Yes, she is the best.
Oh,
She
thank
is
you.
the best.
Steven just wrapped up, I want to say, on he did Bad Apples, and then I know that She Knows, the sequel to He Knows, just I believe it's done filming, unless it's
I don't
still.
know. I know he filmed some, but I'm not
Gotcha.
sure if it's done or not.
So
I don't
that
know if
there's
Stephen can hear that.
so there still
If
may
you
be
can,
some filming that's going on. That you can watch the first film, He Knows, on Tubi right now for free. So do check that out.
Yes. Like
which is
your
also
next movie
an
night.
award-winning film that has a great character that he did such cool things with making the paintable figures that you can paint yourself, and the mask, and you know, I feel like we've got our next icon in the making. I'm Angie, that's awesome.
That's
I guess
Whoopi
if I
Goldberg.
made it to the filming, I could have got a hat too. Okay, so Duke has joined us. Duke, it
Hi,
is
Duke.
your turn to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do with Days and how you got here the
All
whole
right.
past leading up. I go way back. I'm joking, but no, your turn.
All right. Can everybody hear me okay? Coming through?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm Duke Shoulders. I'm the film festival security manager for Days of the Dead. Basically, what we do is we run a team to try to make sure that we keep a safe and fun environment in the viewing room. The primary opportunity for what we do is we want to make sure that we keep all the filmmakers' intellectual property safe, and we make sure that there's no pirating of any videos and things like that. So that way, filmmakers are safe to show their films and to continue on to looking for distribution and other things like that. So in reality, that's pretty much what we're doing. It's always been a really fun opportunity to do this kind of work, and we've all done it for quite some time now. This is one of the most interesting curations of films festivals I think I've ever worked on. We get a lot of really, really cool things. There's a lot of celebrity involvement. There's a lot of really interesting projects that come in, and that's what I think Days is really, really good at. But like I said, that's pretty much what we do. And I'm also part of the film selection committee as well with the rest of these guys. So that's a little bit.
All right, you, George, or me? You want to finish it out?
Yeah,
Me?
you go ahead.
Okay.
He's got
Hello,
this. He's got it in the show.
I,
I mean,
I know. Any other time he throws me under the bus and he's like, I'm gonna go ahead and hurry up and get it over with. So hello everyone. I am Audrey Lane. I am the co-director of the film festival, director and programmer. And as Duke just said, we've all been at this in some form or another for, oh my gosh, I think for us it was 2012. It's debatable the 2011 or 2012 time. I think we actually officially started working for one of the festivals in 2012. And just like Angie and Duke and George and Brittany, started out as a fan, had no idea it would ever end up going this way. I took a little bit of a different route. I'd always written a lot of things and had some like short stories and poems published, but then I just kind of stopped. I did literally every day up until I'm going to say my mid to late 20s, journaled every day. So I was still writing, still just getting things out there, thoughts, poems, things that, you know, sometimes you just got to get it out. And after the first convention I had gone to, I started podcasting and I'm like, okay, I really like this. And then things just kind of kept progressing, taking a bigger role in the festivals that we were working with, going from someone that was security, watching the films, making sure no one was pirating, to becoming promotions and operations manager, then to being a director. And then we just kind of, you know, took all of these things that we learned, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I would never want to start at the top because you miss a lot of integral things and communication and interactions with people. So I think I wouldn't change a thing about the route that we went and how we got here. Days has been different than any other festival we've worked for in the sense that we've got complete autonomy and to build our festival and make it the best that we think that we can make it. And just taking, I don't want to say baby steps, but we move at the speed of what we can handle. We move at the speed of what we can handle and still have a good show, a good experience for the people that are coming, whether you are an attendee or a filmmaker or a screenwriter. I think, you know, job-wise, do a little bit of everything. There are times where, you know, you'll be, you know, we're reading scripts, rating movies, and we do read and watch everything, to the constant emails, to business relationships, to relationships with the event managers, hotels, even some of the celebrity staff, and the people that work under every department with Days, like transportation, with Bill that owns it, with Scott that runs the tattoo, with Larry, the tattoo expo, with Larry that does the costume contest, to the people that handle transportation, Kim and John, I think it's John, and I'm probably having to bring Jason. I was close. Jason, I'm sorry, buddy. You know, I love you. I'm sorry. I'm old. I'm going to attribute that to age. So it's all these, there's these constant moving parts, and being a director, you have to constantly adapt and move with those parts. You do have to kind of know most facets of everything we're doing, because I can jump in on media if I have to sometimes, and I can jump in on security. So it's kind of this family that we're all working together and we're learning together as things come up. It's a really fun environment to be in, but it is a lot of work. There are a lot of inner workings that go on with putting on a festival, because it's not just George and I that do this. We have a whole team that works with us. And, we couldn't do this without our team. So I'd say there's so many things that are under the umbrella of what has to be done to get a festival out. So it's great that we have a media department and a marketing and security and the volunteers, because if one of those components are missing, we cannot put on a show. So I know I just totally rambled that through, but a director's job, I'll just say, is never done, all the way from sponsorship to other things to just getting things printed. It's so much. So I have a notebook for every cycle that I write things down, check them off. If it didn't get done that day, it moves to the next day. I will ask or, delegate and be like, okay, I need help with this so I can focus on this. So, bottom line is you are only as good as the people that work with you. And I'll send it to you, George.
I mean, you pretty much summed everything up for hi, I am George Lane. I am the other film festival director and programmer for Days of the Dead Film Festival. Yeah, it kind of all started in 2012 whenever I dragged her to a horror convention and we started volunteering right afterwards. Yeah, it was a very good time. It was a learning curve, watching and how the business goes and learning a lot, things that work, things that don't. And then whenever we eventually became directors, it was how do we want to run the film festival? What we saw, things that were good, we wanted to improve on, and then things that just didn't work, we wanted to eliminate and just make better. So hopefully we've accomplished that, at least to the best of our ability right now. We're always trying to improve and be better. So we appreciate whenever everybody gives us compliments, but we also want to know, hey, where can we improve at? Because we always want to get better. Once you think that you're done, then you're on your way downhill, and that's no good. Especially since we are the Sundance of horror film festivals. Just saying. So yeah, Audrey, you pretty much summed
We
it up.
might be the step brother or step sister of it, but we're there. So that is a great segue, because that goes to one of our talking points, which would be when we started and our goals. So this is a funny story that when people ask us about it, we took the job we were offered the job, we accepted the job in November of 2021, and we had a very short time to do submissions, get things in. In February, we were in Atlanta doing our first show. We hit a lot of.
We had a 6 week,
Oh, yeah.
6 week cycle. So we were able to build a film festival with only 6 weeks on Film Freeway to have everything in the cycle. So it was extremely short. Everyone that are filmmakers and they submit films, you'll know that that's such an insanely small window. And then we had to, do as we usually do, is contact everyone, build all the laurels. I hope everyone sees that, what we do on social media, we do advertise your films as much as possible. We've gotten better since, the beginning.
Oh boy, yeah.
Of 2022. Yeah.
2022 was a big learning curve, especially like the how we were holding films and screening them. which has gotten so much better. I'm so excited, and every time we have one, it's just like, okay, great, this isn't going to go wrong, which things sometimes go wrong, but we have got the system down, locked and loaded now. I love Mac computers. They will always forever be my favorite because they take a lot of the glitch things out. But as far as so when we started, it was 2022. We had an insanely short time. But the great thing about that is COVID was over. People were coming out for festivals, and we were all so taken aback by how many people came to that first show, because Days hadn't had a a film fest in like 2 years, 2.5 years. So it's kind of like starting from scratch, but that was okay. The filmmakers came out, the fans came out. Atlanta has always been very, very good to us. We also, when we started, we had plaque and certificate awards, and there was no screenplay competition. So in 2023 was the birth of the Deadheads. We those were our 10 awards that got trophies, and then we still had a lot of certificate awards. We always have a special pricing for whatever city that we're in. So for the upcoming festival, Atlanta, Georgia residents enjoy special pricing. It's the same price from the early bird to the final deadline. So we really love doing that because it really gives the filmmakers and screenwriters in that state a opportunity to submit at a lower price point, and then still have your work showcased in your home state. Let's see, you want to take the next one, George? Oh, I'm sorry. Our goal is for that same goal. One goal is to eventually have all awarded categories Deadheads, but that will take a bit because we do have 32 category awards right now. And screenplay, best feature and short, which since the screenplay competition came about, we have only had those as certificates. Woot woot, those are now trophy categories. So we're super excited about that, to be able to add the best feature and best short screenplay with the Deadhead.
Yay.
Oh yeah.
Excited.
And since you were mentioning our very first one, I do have can I see? Yeah, the history of metal and horror. Yes, guys, I still wear your filmmaker t-shirts to this
He
day.
does.
So
He
that's
does.
Michael Schiff's film. He won our very first film festival with Days in Atlanta 2022. What was that? Was January? Was that February? That was February.
No, that was February.
Yes, February 26th. That was Saturday, February 26th, 2022. He won Best Feature. And you can see the history of metal and horror on it's on YouTube, it's on Amazon Prime Video, it's on Fandango at Home, aka
Nice.
Voodoo, formerly known as Voodoo.
True that.
Yeah.
And by the way, a little tidbit that no one asked for, but that shirt gets washed in Woolite Dark and hung to dry. It has never seen the inside of a dryer. Just
That's right.
sharing that.
Hey.
That's right, Mike. Just in case Mike sees this.
He respects the shirt and the metal
Yes.
and the movie. Okay, do you want to tackle the next one, George?
Sorry, which is the next one that we're doing? So, it was, all right, we just went over as far as the Deadheads are now going to be for the screenplays are going
What
to
to
be.
expect in Atlanta?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Atlanta, oh, that is always a great show. Filmmakers always come out in Atlanta, which is absolutely amazing. We really appreciate that that one. It's our biggest film festival, I'd say. And let me
And it's
see.
our biggest event when you add the components of the Tattoo Expo, the convention, and the film festival. That is an insane show. Shout out to Scott Majeski, because the Tattoo Expo is gonna be so much bigger than it was last year, and last year it was insane. Just congratulations, man. Can't wait to see it. You've got, 100+ tattoo artists that will be invading the Portland brand with the rest of us. And last year, I do have to bring this up because I am bequeathed to get a tattoo. The some of the cast and crew from Spooked, by Tony Reams, produced by Vanessa Wright, starring Haley Leary, Charisse. Oh, I'm going to say her name, Kristen Charisse. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, Eric Roberts is in it, which he's, by the way, is going to be on Dancing with the Stars, which is pretty cool. At the Tattoo Expo last year, after the awards ceremony, they all went and got tattoos of one of the Amish style that was in the movie. So I thought that was really, really cool. It's like, oh my gosh, this is immortalized in, not just the film festival, but the Tattoo Expo. So there are so many incredible artists, and you can find that information in our link tree on Instagram. You can find it at Days of the Dead. I'm sorry, at the Macabre Film Festival, Tattoo Expo, and on the Days of the Dead page. So we're all over the place. We've got so much social media. So if you find one, you shall find all. And we will drop links when this posts as well.
So I am overdue for a shaky heart myself. So I will also be looking to find some time to sneak upstairs at the Tattoo Expo.
Same.
Yeah, I might have to get two. Are you gonna be a part of the Shaky Hearts too, Brittany?
Yes. What is the shaky hearts?
You're like, yes, but
I
what
just
is
want a
it?
tattoo from like a spooky guy. So yes.
Okay, so there you'll join the Spooky Hearts Club, and we can show you. So there's another Brittany that does handling, and she's at all the festivals, which I'm sure you've probably seen her, but maybe we hadn't introduced you to yet. Tessa has one, she has one. I think Summer has one. I think there's like about 10 or 15 people that have maybe ish that have the Shaky Hearts. I've seen them with my own eyes on skin. I just haven't gotten one yet because I'm a punk. But
Okay.
but me and Mama Reams, if they were doing Spook too, I literally promised that I would get a tattoo. She and I can hold hands while we're each getting tattooed because I'm gonna need some support. But I'm so down for it. Like I'm so excited. Total ulterior motive, because getting a tattoo, first of all, with Mama Reams, which is Tony Reams' mom, of course, the filmmaker and producer. She's so sweet. Been hearing about this woman since we saw their first film. Oh, Playtime's Over. At least that's the first film I saw from them, which was great. And he just keeps just like knocking them out the park every time. And she agreed, and I agreed that we would get a tattoo. So I might walk away from Days with two, the Shaky Heart and the doll. Who knows? George, can we get you guys in for a Shaky?
No, I think I'm gonna go through life unmarked. I'm going
I
through
already
life
knew what
unmarked.
Duke was going to say. I just wanted to look at him when he said it.
I love Scott Majeski. I will profess my love on the internet for Scott Majeski all day. And everybody you mentioned is some of the best people I've ever worked with, been with. But the tattoo thing just doesn't happen for me, So I love them. I appreciate them. I just kind of got some commitments that keep me from wanting to do it right now, But that's any tattoo. If I was going to get a tattoo, it would be a Shaky Heart, of course. But.
You heard it here first, folks. That's awesome. Okay,
And
so
Atlanta will also have, as far as since it will be post Terrifier 3, we will be having what seems to be building up a Terrifier 3 pretty large cast that will be there in attendance. So that's another thing
yay.
concerning Atlanta you can expect already. We already have a decent cast that's that will be in attendance. I want to say maybe 7 now.
I don't know. I think there's 3. I think there's 2 or 3 more guests that have not been announced for February yet. Not to be
Gotcha.
confused with the show next weekend in Atlanta.
Right.
They are different.
Yes.
We will not be there. The Tattoo Expo will not be there, but we all will convene together in February. So don't get me wrong. Oh my gosh, I wish I could be in Atlanta next weekend. So many people I want to meet. Bill Dukes, oh my gosh, if he's not at another show, I'm just gonna die. Like I'm literally gonna I'm so sad. We have a wedding. We are gonna be in Ohio and we can't get down there, but part of me wants to be like, okay, I'm gonna drive down Sunday.
Detour.
Look, George is like, you're on your own.
No,
Whatever.
I want to go meet. It's all down to Commando and Predator. I got
I
to meet
know.
Bill Duke. I'm like, man, I've been wanting to meet that dude for the longest time, and all of a sudden we get him, and it's at a show that we don't have a film festival at, and we won't be. And it's the same weekend that even though we're not having a film festival, it's down in Atlanta, and we need to be at a wedding. So I'm like, it's just not going to work out.
And I also wanted to drop that Menace to Society line on them too. Well, you see what you did. You know you done fucked up now, don't you? I said that literally probably for 5 years straight whenever someone did something stupid. You know you fucked up now, right? It's just the line, Bill Duke. It's Bill Duke and Bill Duke and Carl. Oh, see, this is why I like watching Me TV and getting all those old stations, because you'll see movies that you just don't see all the time. And it's just like, oh my gosh. Bill Duke is like a legend before he even did I was about to say Terminator, haha, Predator and Command. No, yeah, that's right, Commando and Predator, and there was another one I was just thinking of. Anyway, awesome. It's gonna be like me. You got Dana De Lorenzo there, and I'm having a brain lapse. Her co-star in Ash versus the Evil Dead that was in Accepted and The Sasquatch Gang, 2 of my favorite movies that also happen to have Justin Long in them.
Ask me about
Ray Santiago. See,
Sorry.
they're all locked in here. They're all locked.
So
Yeah,
fun fact about this coming Atlanta show that we won't be at. Steve Morris will be there, and I know that he will be getting some footage of, I'm a little confused on the details. I think it's for more footage for the promotional video that he is working on for She Knows.
Oh,
I think.
nice.
But he will be getting some footage there this weekend.
All right. Cool. Let's see. So, I'm gonna jump really quick. You know what, Angie, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yay!
Okay, this is a 2-part question. Do we have an alumni discount for returning filmmakers and screenwriters? And if so, what is it?
No, we're not supposed to say that, are we?
We can say how much it is. We're not gonna give the.
Oh,
How
okay.
do we do this?
You don't want people to know.
We do have a discount for alumni filmmakers.
And what percentage is that off when they resubmit their next project, when they submit their next project?
That I'm not sure. And I don't know, want to throw out a number because I think it might be way generous what I'm thinking in my head.
Duke, I'm gonna mess with you. What do you know? George, do you know? No,
I definitely know.
We wouldn't go there.
I don't think it's fair to ask Brittany if she knows, but wouldn't it be funny if she knows? Do you know, Brittany?
I'm gonna just guess 20%.
Oh,
We're more
but
generous than that.
We're more generous than that.
Okay,
The
cool. Well,
25?
see, that's what I wanted you guys to say.
More generous.
More generous than 25? Here I was saying
Yes.
being too generous.
No, it's
30.
40%. 40%
Oh, nice.
off future submissions every time. you submit a new project, whether it's a screenplay or a film. If you produced it and you want to submit it, you can. If you're the director, you want to submit it, you can.
And I do suggest that everyone that has done that, look at all the past emails that we've sent you, because we try not to bog you down with too much, but we also provide you with plenty of information. And always post film festival, we always provide you with that and the code to that. So
So
look
if
at
you
your
see
past
this,
emails, please look at your past emails first. And if you still can't find it, by all means, reach out to us, and we will provide that.
yep, and we've had several submissions. Well, I think we have maybe like 8 to 10 right now, of alumni that have resubmitted their projects. Some remembered to use their discount, some didn't. You know, so that's why we always put out a post-event wrap-up and say, hey, remember, for future submissions, you get your alumni discount. And I just think that's a really fun way to stay to, and it depends on where you are at the stage. I mean, sometimes it's really great because you catch it at the beginning of the cycle. And even if it's at the end of the cycle, you're still, 40% off is a nice chunk. Anything that you buy 40% off. I don't care if I'm going to buying a tomato, if it's 40% off, I'm gonna be stoked. I'm paying 10 cents for that tomato.
Yep. Halloween decoration. That's saving Halloween decoration money right
Yep.
there.
That's right. Submit with us so you can buy more Halloween decorations.
That's con money, so you can go buy that super cool like Jason statue and then get it signed or something.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, that we definitely wanted, and we joke around like, oh yeah, make sure you read your things, but really we put like pertinent information in the event updates and the post-event wrap-up. But we always tell people, if in doubt, please shoot us a message if you are an alumni before you submit. So that way we can say, oh yeah, by the way, here you go. Yeah, glad you reached out. So, anytime we can save you guys money, and plus, we want to be a place that you submit to and continue to attend. One of the great things, I think, one of the biggest takeaways as a director that I get is people that don't even have a project in, that didn't submit a project for that cycle, and yet they still come to the festival. They still come to hang out with their peers. They still come to watch movies. They still come to interact. And I think that is just one of the biggest compliments, because it makes me feel like we are providing a great environment that people want to be a part of, whether they have a project or not. So that is literally like the biggest compliment. And those are some of the best surprises ever. When we see them, we're like, oh my gosh, we didn't know you were coming. Like, oh yeah, I'm always going to come. So that's really fun too. So we got the alumni stuff. We talked about that.
Some of those filmmakers have had their films put through distribution, either through our distribution partners with Bloody Disgusting, Trauma, KDMG, and even though, and we have Strawberry Fields and Black Mandala, but we have not put anything in through them yet. It's those are new partners of ours for distribution. So that's
Well, Strawberry Fields we did, but that was one that we distributed on our own. I mean, though they're still distribution partners without days. That's which is great. It's great to have, and Bloody Disgusting. It's particularly Bloody Bites, and those the Bloody Bite series, and that streams on Screenbox and Tubi. And I want to say there's one more, and I'm having a brain lapse, but
Pluto TV.
And Pluto, thank you.
Yeah, you're
and
welcome.
Pluto.
So it's not a lot of shorts have the ability to see distribution or to get your film seen. It's usually just features. This gives the opportunity, because it's a collection of shorts made into episodes on these platforms. So it's well worth your time to to check it out and see what films that they show. And hopefully, if you're a filmmaker out there and you are hoping to get your, film shown and, it goes through us and we'll check it on out. By all means, we hope that, you know, uh, you can have your work seen instead of, as most shorts do, fall into obscurity and no one ever sees it. They're like, oh, I remember that one short. Yeah, I saw it a decade ago. Well, this is the opportunity of getting yourself showcased um, without having a feature somewhere.
Absolutely.
And
Um,
I love our distribution partners. Those are wonderful. But again, I'm going to go back to the screenwriting for a moment because we have picked up a couple of incredible partnerships for screenwriters as well. And I
yes.
don't know that we had those as talking points. So I want to throw them in there with our film distributors because those are huge too with the Coverage Inc. and Script to
Sound of
Script or
Scripts.
Down to scripts,
Sound of Script. Yes.
which have been, just I mean, I think when we first worked with them when we were with PopCon, I don't think I had I knew what the conversations that we had, and I had an idea in my head how it was going to sound like old, time radio where you're listening to it and you're so engaged and there's all the sound effects, and it just was beyond measure. It was just like hearing the winners and listening to them like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. And I think, the people that take that prize away, now you've got kind of a proof of concept, even though it's not visual, it's audio. And I think in certain respects, that's going to be just as good as shooting a proof of concept as well. You've got something now tangible that you can use that you won as a prize on top of a certificate for last cycle. Now it's a trophy award plus the other the sound of scripts and um, I'm sorry, the sound of scripts and oh my gosh, my brain, the sound of scripts and Coverage Inc. Jeez. And Coverage Inc. Angie, and I need to send you those that were sent over so you can see the complete script coverage. It is very in depth. It really gives the screenwriter a lot of options on how to tweak or improve or take away to make their script viable, especially if the goal is to get the script optioned, the screenplay option to make a film, or even get it to where it becomes, because we've had some things that were submitted that were teleplays for series, short form, like episodic format, and just wow, they are so thorough. Coverage Inc. is also based in LA, and they've been around for 20 plus years. And some of the projects that they've done script work on and helped get they do a thing called Get Rep series where they put you directly in, and it's based on how your screenplay rated, and it gets you in front of the decision makers and people that option scripts. And it's just a really cool company that has been around for a long time and has the longevity to kind of back up their work and their expertise. And it is very, very, very thorough, even on the short screenplay versus the feature. That it's pretty spectacular.
I have gone out and looked at some of their sample work. It's one of the reasons I'm so excited about our partnership with them, because I've personally have gotten back from places what they are calling coverage, and it's like I had one that was literally 3/4 of a page, and they called it coverage. So Coverage Inc. actually provides a coverage like I was taught to provide a coverage. It's so I'm very excited about our partnership with them. When they're doing a coverage, it's a legitimate coverage.
Yeah, it's very impressive. And I gotta say, even reading it was a little not intimidating, but it was so insightful to, and I know that they read it because we've read the scripts, and to see, you know, the things that they discussed, the things that worked, or maybe the things that needed tweaking, or whatever the case was. I know that they read it because I too read it, you know, and that's really great to know that these things are taken seriously. And I'm telling you, they've checked in with us, you know, and saying, hey, we're still got some prizes that haven't been claimed. Can you make sure your people know that, you know, that we're still here? So it's even the follow-up. I mean, they're a good team. You know, Tanya, and Jim, they're awesome, and their team seems to be, you know, really awesome as well. Reading some of the things that, you know, that they wrote, I'm just like, wow, this is really cool. So yeah, I think that's one of, for me, and I know for George too, that's probably one of our shining moments here, is that we were able to work with these two companies to bring these prizes to fruition. And one of the things that TJ Ramini, that's with Sound of Scripts, is like real world value. And I'm like, fucking A, that's real world value, because you can use that as, hey, I wrote a script, but check it out. Listen to this. It is performed by voice actors. The sound is there. It's like you were just in an audio play, and you're just, it's great. I mean, I really, you know, feel like we're very lucky to be able to offer that to our screenwriters, and for them to not feel like, hey, it's just a film festival and they're only about films. It's like, no, we are here for everybody that's a creator. So, I mean, that, and I'm glad you said that, because I realized as I was writing and I was typing, and I kept telling George, I'm like, I'm forgetting something. I'm forgetting to put something in here. We've talked about it. And usually when I put one in there, I automatically put the others in. But we had an impromptu visit with the youngest kid today. So we got a little, you know, we were going over notes, and I'm like, something's missing. And so thank you, Angie. That's what was missing.
So we're gonna have to close out here pretty soon. We just have a few minutes left. So I would say maybe we just, you know, discuss what our future plans would be. You know, everyone's really. What are your thoughts?
We can go backwards. I'll go first. So one of the last talking points, but this kind of goes with future plans. I wrote, connecting to creators in your local and regional area to explore film, screenwriting, authors, meetups, haunts, post-secondary schools. Literally, things are at your fingertips if you allow them to be. You got to put yourself out there, no matter what form of if you're wanting to break into any of the things that we've talked about, behind the camera, in front of the camera, just volunteering, wanting to see where your short story can go, that type of thing. I met Brittany over 2 years ago, and I remembered meeting her. And when I saw you again, I'm like, man, I know that I've met her. And she's like, were you at the IFN? And I'm like, that's where we met. And I wish that I had just, you know, looked through those cards and looked through those things and the contacts and followed up. But when was it days that you came and we saw you? I can't even remember how we reconnected. You're muted.
Sorry, I did it again. It was either the IFN, it was some sort of Halloween mixer where we met, and then it was
Yeah.
IFN or some sort of Facebook page that we reconnected again. Because I was like, hey, I know you.
Yeah. And I'm so glad. And that's the thing. You
Me too.
go to these events, and, you know, of course it's networking and you're trying to meet people, but sometimes those meetings really bring about something that's going to change the game and dynamic. And I think having another photographer, another videographer in this mix and in this craziness that we do. And of course we do have two people that aren't here, and Joe Kemp and Ryan Murphy. That is, sorry, but wait, is that right? Ryan Murphy? Does he sure the name is
It's a McDonald?
McMurphy? Ryan McMurphy.
Ryan Murphy's
Ryan McDonald.
Ryan Murphy is the writer and producer and American Horror Story and all
Yeah,
that
American
stuff.
Horror.
Yeah. So that's why when I said it, I'm like, wait, that's wrong. But yes, I was so close. But you know, having these people in our midst, so yeah, so as far as what to do next is keep trying to cultivate a better experience each and every time, learn from our mistakes, which makes mine, especially with formatting things for replay. Just learning and trying to do better and get better, and don't ever think that, you know, I know everything, I'll never will. This is an ever-changing professional sphere. Everything's always changing, and we're, you know, you're trying to keep up. So that would be my takeaway, just trying to be better at what we do each time. So, George?
And for me, I'm going to make it much shorter than Audrey, is is I just want to continue to create a nice space that filmmakers can network, especially our iconic green room at
Filmmakers
our events.
and
Sorry, go ahead.
screenwriters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, sorry. So for everyone to create, to build their craft by meeting other screenwriters, filmmakers, uh, all across the board. If there's some place that you need to improve in your craft, by all means, our green room is the place to go. Watch the films that other filmmakers have, and if you see something in their film and they're in attendance and you like it, by all means, talk to them. We create a nice space for everyone to meet at, and we want to continue to even get better at that. So I think that's pretty much one of my biggest goals is going forward is continuing to ensure that we have a just a mean networking space so people can get better. And if you're a weird person that is like awkward or whatever the case may be, I don't know, just mention something to us and we will help make introductions,
And be weird
whatever.
with us.
Come find us.
Yeah, whatever the case, we'll be your weird crowd, we can make it work. I mean, I'm a weird guy too. So we can
I can attest to that. 25 years worth.
we can make it, yes, we can make it work. So I'm like that's one of my biggest goals is doing that and then putting forth more films into distribution and then some films, a handful of films into production. So those are my goals.
So I want to follow up next. I'll go next. I do want to kind of praise our green room for a minute in our networking environment. So I will say personally, well, we've all watched and seen so many of the filmmakers go out and collaborate with people that they've met in our green room. Myself personally, I worked on Haunted House of Pancakes along with Nathan Dalton, who, although he ends up living in my backyard, I met him in Days of the Dead green room. And then he introduces me to a special effects guy who's worked on projects that we have screened before. And it was Kisma. So and then Keith with Misfit Parade, that he is the middleman that connected me with the short that I'll be producing next month. So, and that's all just being together, networking, talking with the other filmmakers. I know Brittany's done special effects work with Misfit Parade. I don't know if that was through IFN or our green room. But I'm a huge proponent for networking. And as far as future plans and the festival goes myself, I know that I'm working really hard right now to upgrade our equipment, make sure that we're not relying on anybody else's equipment for anything, that we come as a full service package, and our quality is going to be improving. And I know that we have talked about this. I don't know if it'll be a 2025 thing or not, because it really kind of depends on how we logistically figure out how to do this. But we have talked about at some point in the future being able to offer some screenwriters feedback or full coverage ourselves, making that an option. So moving forward into the future, those are some of the things that I'm personally looking to work on.
Let's go.
Brittany?
Let's go to you, Brittany. Oh, she has mama duties.
Oh, hi, Mavis.
We got a little bit of a sad, spooky baby right at
Oh.
perfect timing.
Feel better, Mavis?
Want to say hi.
She's
But
like,
to
I'm not
keep it
hearing
short and sweet, I'm just here to support y'all and get spooky, create a safe space for the future spooky ones, and a safe space for all of us to keep networking and vibing. And yeah,
She's
Well, we're
actually
happy to have you.
she's actually being pretty modest right now, because we did have a meeting last week, and she has got some amazing ideas moving forward as far as the best ways to get our content out to the filmmakers, our post-event content, and how we're going to be able to put that in one place so that everybody can go out and get to where they can find what they're looking for.
Awesome.
Oh yeah. And Duke.
Hey, I just want to stay in the game as long as I can. I love what I do. I love this team, and this team is a family. I love the clientele I get to work with, and I love these late night green room chats I get with very interesting people from across the world. Our green room is legendary. I don't care what anybody tells you. I know some of the baddest dudes walking the planet, and they'll all swap stories, and I've got ones just as good as they do because of this team. And you'll have them too if you come to these places, especially Atlanta, and hang out with us. But at the end of the day, I mean, independent film to me is pure rock and roll. This is where the cutting edge stuff happens. This is where the stuff happens that's going to be the norm 5, 6 years from the road. And a lot of the big projects right now that people are always talking about, that's where they started, was right here on these festivals. And I just like I said, I want to be a part of it as long as I can. I want to be in this game as much as I can be, and keep having those road stories and keep being out there and just living that life, because that honestly is in my opinion, like one of the greatest joys of this kind of job. And shout out to Sophia Spiegel and Sealanders and Craig Olette and Adam. You got to help me out with Greed and Gore here. Is it Adam Kirky?
Oh,
Yep.
Adam Kirky.
Adam
Yeah, I
Kirk.
mean, some of these guys, Keith Aram, I mean, you meet legends out there, and you meet people that are going to be legends out there very, very soon if there are not already. So I said, that's all I want to do, and that's my plan.
Well said. Well said.
I know I can very clearly remember the first time I ever met the Levy brothers way back when, long before my I knew them when moments.
Yeah, and those gyms that we first met, I mean, we met them with Abnormal Attraction at Horror Hound, and we've kept in touch and been supportive ever since. I mean, they've been just as supportive, if not more, of us, which has been amazing. I mean, it was great when we went to Atlanta for the first time, and their short 3:15 screen, and it was just like a reunion, and it was so much fun, so much support, so much love. They have really been good, not just creators, but I dare say friends, and we've kept in touch, and I kind of feel like we always will. They're a great group of people. They're a great family. Stephen De La Sala, when I say them, I mean the fuzz guys. I mean, because they're all under that same umbrella. And then it's been good. We've met a lot of incredible people, and we are very, very lucky that people still roll with us, as far as they have rolled with us wherever we've gone, you know, and that's something special. I think it's a testament to us as a team and as people, that it doesn't necessarily matter where we are. I think that we treat people the same. We treat everyone well. And we just want to watch cool shit and, good movies and have it, for other people to watch them, So we take our job seriously and hit it 1000% with integrity every time. So we hope that we've answered some questions. If you watch this and you think of anything that you might want to know, or, definitely ask, you can drop them in the comments. You can always shoot us a email, dotdfilmfest@gmail.com. We are on Instagram, Facebook. We're on X now. So, get a hold of us if you need anything. Thank you guys for taking your Monday night. I know it's always rough after the weekend having a Monday meeting, but we did it a little different this time, so it was great. So I'm gonna stop this and then we can stay on for just a moment. But thank you guys, and thank you for the people that tuned in and watched. Have a good night. We will see you on the festival circuit soon.
Hollywood is dead. Indie film rules.
That's right.